little bit of news when it comes to the world of TKO. Again, this time it involves the UFC side of things, and apparently they have struck a 7-year, $7.7 billion exclusive United States media rights deal with Paramount and CBS to eliminate the entire pay-per-view model. Now, in that regard, I think this is a good deal for fans of the UFC, no doubt about it. Dana White put out a statement, obviously talking about how it's a huge opportunity, the typical CEO type speak, which is good to see. But at the same time, it's good to see all that there. But yeah, Paramount has not been one to kind of hold back their pocketbook, as it were. Over the last few years here, we got a $1.5 billion deal for EUFA soccer, right? I believe that's what's I don't watch a lot of soccer. Fair, it's real football here in America. You know what I mean? But anyway, we got $1.5 billion for South Park for a 5-year deal. And of course, $7.7 billion for 7 years of the UFC. Now, this means that UFC fans will no longer have to pay the price of $1,160 to watch their pay-per-views in a single year. Instead, it'll be down to $120. So it's kind of the opposite of the WWE ESPN deal, where now you got to pay maybe a little more for ESPN, and now UFC fans are getting theirs for uber cheap. So in that regard, I think that's great, and because UFC, kind of like AEW, is one of the last pay-per-view models where you physically got to pay $50 a pop for their pay-per-view still. I'm hoping one of these days AEW and Warner Media will move all their pay-per-views to Max, kind of like WWE did on Peacock for a long time. So in that regard, I think this is a big deal for UFC. I don't know how much you guys watch UFC or care about UFC. I like watching a fight here and there if it's a big fight, but for the most part nowadays, I don't know a lot of the fighters anymore. But 15 years ago, I was definitely into some of this stuff. Thoughts on them moving to Paramount? Kind of sucks. Why couldn't it all? I thought ESPN was supposed to be where it all is, right? Everything under one roof. And now WWE's over there. But WWE also is owned by TKO, and yet UFC can't go over to ESPN too as well. We're on Paramount here. So, again, can we not just put everything on the same service?
Yeah.
But anyhow, other than that, thoughts on the pay-per-view model going away for UFC?
That's cool.
I mean, I think what it is UFC's kind of like lost its luster over the years. More people now have been watching that power slap than they've turned into UFC, which is
also owned by Dana White, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the last UFC fight I think I've ever like watched and paid for, this was like, I'm telling you, dude, me and Miranda just started dating. It was like the Chuck Liddell, or not Liddell, Iceman. Yeah, Iceman versus Rampage Jackson was like the last fight I think I've ever paid for to watch. And that was back in 2007-ish. Yeah, I don't think I've watched one since.
See, we used to go down to the Show-Me's or Hooters or whoever was, maybe Buffalo Wild Wings or whoever was showing the pay-per-views there. That way you pay for your food and you get to stay and watch the show. Little cheaper, not as bad. You get to get some good food going along with it.
I've never been to a Show-Me's, by the way.
No, well, I don't think there is one around here now.
No,
hell, the Hooters even went bankrupt, so there's not much of them. There's a few of them still left. Hopefully that'll, but it was kind of sad to see that one on the Ohio River. I guess they literally shipped the building off on a barge
that's crazy
down the river. It was like, man, talk about anyway. But yeah, because I used to go to those for college, watch WWE pay-per-views. That's how I did that. That way I didn't have to pay for them at home too. Back in those days. So yeah, but I mean, I think it's good for fans of the UFC. No doubt about it. Paramount Plus is not too expensive, so that's really good for them. What is it, like $10 a month? They said it was like $120 a year. That's really good, no doubt. Mike said in the chat, I haven't watched a UFC show since Eric and I watched Anderson Silva break his leg. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, I did see that. I didn't watch that live. Yeah, he snapped his fucking.
Yeah, he threw a kick at another guy's shin, and it's just wrapped around. It was ugly.
Yeah,
that was painful, which happens often, more often than you might think.
Yeah, it happens more often than people think.
I mean, novel concept, bone on bone. Things happen.
Yeah,
maybe it's not a good idea to be throwing leg kicks, but if you're a fighter, it's what you do. So, but yeah, good for the UFC fans. Happy for them. Hopefully, it works out. And they're definitely big money there for TKO. Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our full podcast on Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to follow, comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.